Hey everyone, welcome back to Heroes Charge. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just continue our mini-series that I started the last time with the Hero Trials. And this time, sorry for the delay, but this time we'll be going ahead and we'll be going through Crashed Hill. Crashed Hill is a pretty interesting one because as you can see here on the hardest difficulty I have available to me here, I was able to get 2 out of 3 stars. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to give it a try here and see if I can get lucky enough anyways to get another one, 2 stars or whatever. If I can actually just make it to the end, I'd be satisfied with that. So as you can see here with Crashed Hill, all of the enemies are immune to physical damage. So the strategy that I have in place here is somewhat simple. I'm not sure, quite frankly, if I'm using the correct setup or not in order to actually be like truly successful here. But basically, it's magic attacks only. So the trick is that at least in the current state of things, I'm using my Dwarf Warrior to absorb and hopefully stand pat here, which does not look like it's going to be the case. So actually, I think what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch this up right away. We're going to just retreat because obviously my Dwarf Warrior just got torn to shreds, and we're going to try one thing here. I'm just going to sub in a healer. We'll give this another go and see if we can't make it happen. So basically the idea here is, and again, like this one is obviously the challenging one for me. The idea here is that I have 3 heroes that are capable of doing massive magic damage, although I guess with exception of Frost Mage I wouldn't classify that as massive per se, but 3 damage dealers, a healer, and a tank. So it's quite honestly, it's a pretty standard setup, but in reality, what we need to do is I need my tank to do exactly what tanks do and keep all of the damage dealers and healers alive long enough here, which again, on this try, I'm really just not certain that it's going to happen. See, here's part of the problem with where I'm at. I'm a low enough level that I can't do damage very quickly. So as you see here, I'm like struggling just to get through the first phase of this, and I got 20 seconds left to take care of the last 4 enemies here. Wow, Dwarf Warrior might go down anyways. Yeah, I mean, look at that. I made it through with 5 seconds to spare. So, I mean, quite frankly, again, I'm gonna back off because it's just not my night. I don't remember, and I wish I would have, but I don't remember who I included in here that I guess made it so easy. Well, I shouldn't say easy. I guess easy is the wrong word considering it was 2-star, but I don't remember who I included that made it, or that made the team complete, that I could at least complete on that difficulty. Because quite honestly, I could use some of the items and fragments that are being dropped on that difficulty, and I just am really not certain that I'm going to be able to get it anytime all that soon. But we'll see. I'm a little over halfway team level wise to team level 93. Maybe I get lucky. Maybe that'll help once I get to 93. But I also at the same time don't want to hold my breath on it and just expect things to work out, because like anything, it's when you begin expecting things to just work that they don't work, right? So we will take a look here. So I mean, like, I guess to just kind of shed a little bit of light here, on this difficulty, which if I'm not mistaken, was difficulty, or yeah, like difficulty 7. On this difficulty, I obviously am not really struggling to complete it, and there's probably several different setups that I could be using here in order to get through it. So this is just one of them. I know that on difficulty 7, I think it's interesting, right? Because my Dwarf Warrior can actually absorb enough that I don't really need to have any support for him, right? I don't need to have a healer or anybody who can help keep him alive. Now he may go down once we get to wave 3, but that's kind of a cool perk here, is that my Death Mage, and I guess Death Mage in general in the game, once you get her to a higher level and geared pretty well in those things, she can actually heal herself, and she's very good at supporting herself and keeping herself in the game all the way through the end. So, you know, we might get an opportunity to see that here. We might not. I'm not really sure. We'll see how my Dwarf Warrior holds up. But I like Dwarf Warrior anyways because, again, he's very tanky and absorbs tons and tons of damage here from this level. Even though he really does honestly no damage this whole level, it's almost like a waste of a position. I think that the enemies are too strong for Death Mage to act as tank throughout, but I do think that there's a definite bonus to doing it this way, and you can see right there, quite frankly, I mean, I completed it with relative ease, so I'm okay with that. It's nothing super over the top special or anything like that. We can maybe try subbing in Emberblade here, because I actually just got Emberblade to red. Yeah, I mean, Emberblade is going to do a lot of physical damage, it looks like. So I think we'll just kind of roll with it through this level, or through this attempt, and we'll see if we're struggling at all here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave it on I'm gonna leave auto fight off on this one, and I will manually play it just because I'm kind of tired of pausing for Dwarf Warrior to do his special when his special really doesn't provide much of a benefit to the team here, other than the fact he's absorbing just crap tons of damage. So yeah, I mean, as you can see here, I think it's going to be a little bit slower, and I guess I wish before I had exited the last one here, I wish I would have kind of just taken a moment to look at the damage output. So just to give you guys, I mean, I know this is really basic stuff, but one of the things that's actually really helped me a lot as I kind of go through this and try to learn and put together the best teams and get this thing done and be the most successful I can be, is you need to use all the resources that you have available to you in this game, right? You know, if you're watching this video, you're already doing some research, trying to find maybe the best way of doing something, or find maybe some tips or some tricks or some help on how to complete something, which is great. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you can do that, you need to also look at like some resources internally to you in the game. And this is one of the good ones that for a long time I made a mistake of overrating. I looked at it and I just never really cared as long as I had actually completed the level. I never really cared, honestly, what my damage output was for any of my heroes. And now I kind of look at it and I'm like, man, you know, I really need to get in a better habit, even now, today, of going through this and understanding and learning what my damage output is on certain levels, because that will ultimately help me be successful in the end and put together not just a good team, but a studly team, right? You know, the game can be fun playing it on, you know, auto fight and all this kind of stuff, you know, to make sure that you get some things done. That's perfectly good, but you know, at the same time, you have to kind of work and want to be there in order to get there. So this will just be hopefully a lesson to take away. You know, you have to kind of feel some things out and really do your due diligence. Try swapping some guys in and out of the team. And here we'll see, you know, I swapped out Ember Blade here, and I mean, we'll see how Ember Blade does. Ember Blade's a little bit different, and how he takes damage. His special also kind of attests to that. So I guess I'm not afraid of necessarily throwing or losing the battle here at this point. If for nothing else, maybe the time limit is what scares me, because I have 30 seconds to get these guys down, and there we go. Again, I think that's all physical, so I don't know, we'll just take a quick peek at the stats after this one before I move right up to the next one here. But yeah, I mean, we can see here there it is, 13 seconds to spare. I guess not too shabby with somebody who's arguably a pretty big physical damage dealer. So I mean, 203k is okay, I guess. Man, I'm actually a little surprised that that's more than Commando. Interesting. So I don't know. I mean, like, maybe we swap out Commando with Frostmage. So I mean, like, the nice part here about Commando obviously is the attack damage bonus. That's really the piece that is important. So the reason that I put Commando in there is not necessarily to be a hardcore damage dealer, but to be, to get that bonus for the rest of the team. I feel like that maybe she doesn't do a ton of damage on her own, but the bonus that she brings in will help boost the rest of the team, and the rest of the team is going to help tear it up. So we'll see how we fail hopefully we don't fail, but hopefully how we fare without her. Now, the nice part about Frostmage, now that I subbed Frostmage in, we'll just talk about her for a second. Frostmage has the defensive buffs. She does her shields, like those types of things. So Frostmage isn't super, like, over the top powerful, but I mean, obviously we can see here already my Dwarf Warrior has more HP going into this, into the second wave than he did, I believe, on the last iteration or the last attempt. So, that's one of the benefits of having Frostmage, is that she is still a damage dealer, but can utilize her defensive buffs to kind of keep guys. So you can see it right here. She's got the shield on my Dwarf Warrior right now, but that shield is ultimately going to help, and now Dwarf Warrior is kind of popping his defensive stuff to keep himself alive. So I'm not sure that he's necessarily going to make it all the way through. But going into the third wave here with about 50% HP left to spare isn't too bad of a gig, right? So let's see. Ember Star is actually a really good one for this. And will also be a really good one to use for the Valkyrie Showdown, which is female only. And the reason why is because her legendary allows her to do burning damage over time. So she actually does a little bit of extra damage. I mean, her primary function in the game is to do damage. Once she's legendary, she does even more damage. It's kind of like the perfect storm, or the perfect setup here. So actually, this particular setup is faring a little bit better than I originally anticipated. So I got 3 stars on auto fight, which is obviously, like I had mentioned, not the most efficient or effective way of doing this. My Death Mage still is rocking it, but I mean, 300k damage for Frost Mage is a bit of a step up. Ember Blade did take a little bit of a step back, but at least we made it, right? That's what's important here. So, that is a major plus as we go into this next one here. Now, one thing I could try is putting my Desert Lycan in here. We'll give this a go. Again, I'm not super confident in this, but Desert Lycan has, much like Ember Star, a single target attack for his ultimate. So I think between Ember Star and Desert Lichen, I can do a combination of a nice little chunk of damage here, which is kind of what I'm hoping to see in this round. So we just kind of let everything work its way through here. It looks like, I mean, Desert Lichen's going to have his ultimate ready any second here. Okay, so to be honest, I could not tell. I really hope that wasn't just physical damage. Gosh, I surely hope not. But it did not look like it was a huge hit either. So that it could be a good or bad sign, I guess. We'll have to see here. See if we can get a better gauge when he pops the ultimate again this go around. That looks to me like it's probably physical, honestly. So I might honestly just be chugging this along with three damage dealing heroes, which is pretty crazy. We'll see if I can do it. Man, I swear. See, this is why I might be preaching to the choir to you guys, but this is why I always say, like, we really should do our research before we do this. I'm just kind of picking and rolling with stuff. I don't have a computer sitting next to me to look any of this information up or test it out before we just start trying it. So I'm just kind of throwing guys in there, but I could have swore off the top of my head that Desert Lichen was not a physical damage dealing hero. That crazy. Well, it is what it is. We're on wave 3 and we have 5 heroes still in the game, so I'm okay with that. Let's see if we can just keep it going. Looks like we're gonna have Frost Mage and Death Mage nearly ready here to pop their ultimates. There's Ember Stars with critical hit, which is excellent. Couldn't have drawn it up better than that, really. And there we go. So hopefully this will at least get us pretty close to completion. Oh, there it is. Perfect. So we somehow found a way to make it through. Let's just, for the fun of it, man, 69k. Yeah, Desert Lichen is not he's not the solution on this one. So we will go ahead. I think, to be honest, I mean, we could use Mystic. I guess Mystic would probably be the obvious choice. Sorry guys, it's just really been a long day today. But we will, we'll go with Mystic. Let's see how much damage Mystic does. Now Mystic, I haven't spent too much time and effort pouring my resources and stuff into, because he's kind of like a specialist type of hero in my opinion. Meaning that he's not really part of like my regular daily type of hero rotation or anything like that. He is best served for like these special type of tasks and things like that because of his ability to pop some sweet moves like that. So to be honest, maybe Mystic was the key to completing it on that difficulty, because I mean here he's gonna do a ton of damage. This is gonna be a, look at that, he just tore up the backfield there. That's awesome. So while I'm sitting here struggling the whole time trying to kind of figure out the right rotation that I had, I guess I didn't realize that Mystic was really the key. Mystic was like the missing piece here to the puzzle. Now the downfall is to using Mystic is that you don't want to auto fight this, because Mystic would only in this instance be attacking one enemy, and he is obviously much better served by attacking several at a time because of his special ability. So we will just save him right away and bust him out of the gate right here, and hopefully we'll kill those 2 guys in the back pretty easily. Yep, and look at everyone in the front is about 50% already, just like that. That's pretty that is pretty impressive right there. We'll just see if we can tear this one up here. Looks like we pretty much have this one here. One last decent hit on our little turtle friend. There we go. So look at that. That was far and away easier than it was before. So that's the last one. So that is a quick rundown on Crash Hill for everyone. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video and the action. Please leave a comment or hit the like button below, and we really hope to see you back for the third and final instance that we're going to do, which will be tomorrow in Cursed City. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.